For over 20 million years, one predator ruled the Earth, Tyrannosaurus rex. But what made this massive dinosaur so powerful? And what caused its eventual extinction? Tyrannosaurs were apex predators during the Cretaceous period, dominating ecosystems and shaping the evolutionary path of many species. However, even the most powerful creatures can fall. This video will take you on a journey through time, exploring the rise, reign, and eventual extinction of these incredible predators. We'll uncover the physical traits, hunting strategies, and environmental factors that allowed tyrannosaurs to become the ultimate predators. And we'll also examine the catastrophic events that led to their downfall. Tyrannosaurs weren't just large. They were engineered for one purpose: to dominate the food chain. Boom. But why did they remain at the top for so long? And what led to their extinction when they had no rivals? Was it environmental changes, evolutionary pressures, or something more? As we delve into their history, we'll explore how the T-Rex's reign was shaped by its biology and the world around it. From fierce competitors to cultural icons, the legacy of the Tyrannosaurs continues to captivate us to this day. The story of Tyrannosaurs begins millions of years before the emergence of the mighty Rex. The early relatives of Tyrannosaurus were smaller, more agile predators that roamed the Earth during the late Jurassic period. These ancestors evolved gradually into larger and more specialized creatures. The true rise of the Tyrannosaur family occurred during the Cretaceous period, where they would reach their full potential as the dominant predators of their time. Tyrannosaurs were initially not the largest predators, but their evolutionary path set them apart. They had small, carnivorous ancestors, but over millions of years, natural selection shaped them into massive creatures capable of taking down enormous prey. By the time T-Rex arrived on the scene, it had become the apex predator, with a powerful bite force and immense size. But their rise wasn't just about size, it was about adaptation. They evolved stronger jaws, sharper teeth, and keen senses, giving them an advantage over many other predators. The Cretaceous environment played a significant role in their rise. The Earth was warm, with lush vegetation and abundant prey. Large herbivores like hadrosaurs and sauropods thrived, providing an endless food supply for the growing population of carnivores. Tyrannosaurs had the perfect conditions to thrive, and they adapted rapidly to become the dominant predators of the era. Tyrannosaurs were not just big, they were built to hunt and dominate, with massive heads and jaws that could crush bone. Rex had the strongest bite force of any known land animal. Their bite was capable of exerting over 12,000 pounds of pressure, strong enough to break through the bones of other dinosaurs and reach the nutritious marrow inside. Their teeth, large and serrated, were perfect for ripping through flesh, making them effective at both killing and consuming prey. But their power wasn't just in their jaws. Tyrannosaurs were incredibly agile for their size. Despite their massive bulk, they could run at speeds up to 20 miles per hour. Their sense of smell was also highly developed, helping them track down prey over long distances. These traits made them exceptional hunters. Their legs were muscular and designed for speed, while their tail provided balance, making them capable of short bursts of speed when closing in on prey. The Rex's arms, though small in comparison to its body, were surprisingly muscular. While once thought to be useless, recent research suggests they may have been used for stabilizing prey during a kill. Their sheer power, combined with excellent senses and agility, made them virtually unbeatable. Tyrannosaurs were a true apex predator, unstoppable and deadly in every way. Tyrannosaurs were solitary hunters, relying on their strength, speed, and intelligence to catch prey. While some predators rely on teamwork, the Rex was a master of its environment, using ambush tactics to get close to prey without detection. The Tyrannosaurus rex likely used its keen sense of smell to track herbivores, following their scent trails over long distances. Once in range, it would launch a powerful attack. It's believed that T. rex used its massive bite to incapacitate prey, often targeting the neck or limbs of large herbivores like hadrosaurs and ceratopsians. Their strategy might have involved waiting in ambush, using cover or the terrain to hide, then charging at high speed to overpower their prey. Evidence of healed bite marks on some fossils suggests that Rex also scavenged, taking advantage of carcasses left by other predators. This flexibility in feeding strategies allowed the Tyrannosaur to thrive in various environments. Interestingly, while T. rex is often thought of as a solitary hunter, some researchers suggest that they may have hunted in groups during certain seasons. This idea is still debated, but the possibility of pack behavior adds another layer to the T. rex's adaptability and hunting strategies. Whether alone or in groups, Tyrannosaurs dominated the food chain, and nothing could stand in their way for millions of years. The Cretaceous period provided the perfect backdrop for the rise of Tyrannosaurs. Earth was warm, and the climate supported abundant plant and animal life. This era saw the proliferation of large herbivores, such as hadrosaurs and sauropods, which became the primary food source for Tyrannosaurs. The lush vegetation and vast ecosystems allowed herbivores to thrive. And in turn, apex predators like the T. rex had an abundance of food. In addition to abundant prey, the Cretaceous period had relatively few large carnivores to compete with the Tyrannosaurs. While smaller predators, like dromaeosaurs and raptors, existed, none had the size, strength, or specialized adaptations of the Tyrannosaurus. This lack of competition allowed Tyrannosaurs to dominate without significant threats. The environment provided everything they needed to thrive: ample prey, favorable climates, and minimal competition. The geological landscape of the Cretaceous period also played a role in the Tyrannosaurs' success. Vast plains, river systems, and dense forests gave them plenty of opportunities to hunt and ambush prey. This environment allowed the T. rex to evolve and adapt to various conditions, further solidifying its place at the top of the food chain. As with all dominant species, the reign of the Tyrannosaurs eventually began to decline. The environment of the late Cretaceous was changing, and the once ideal conditions for Tyrannosaurs were no longer guaranteed. Climate shifts and the rise of new species began to challenge their dominance. The ecosystems that had supported large herbivores were beginning to change, which in turn affected the Tyrannosaurs. The rise of mammals, although small and insignificant at first, began to add competition. These mammals would later evolve into more complex predators. At the same time, herbivores adapted to the changing environment, and the once abundant food sources for the Tyrannosaurs began to dwindle. Tyrannosaurs were not only impacted by competition and changing prey availability, they were also vulnerable to environmental changes. Evidence of shifts in climate and the diversification of species suggests that Tyrannosaurs were struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing world. Despite their power and dominance, they were facing pressures they had never encountered before, which made their eventual extinction inevitable. The final blow to the Tyrannosaurs came from the catastrophic asteroid impact that struck Earth 6 million years ago. This event, known as the KT extinction, marked the end of the Cretaceous period and the extinction of the Tyrannosaurs. The asteroid released an immense amount of energy, causing massive wildfires, tsunamis, and a global nuclear winter effect that blocked out sunlight. The rapid cooling of the Earth, coupled with the destruction of plant life, caused a collapse in the food chain. Herbivorous dinosaurs, which Tyrannosaurs relied on for food, died off, leading to the collapse of ecosystems. The sudden environmental changes, combined with the loss of food sources, left Tyrannosaurs unable to survive. This asteroid impact, along with other global changes, triggered one of the most dramatic extinction events in Earth's history. The Tyrannosaurs, who had ruled the Earth for millions of years, were no match for the sudden and catastrophic changes brought about by the impact. Their reign ended in an instant, leaving only fossilized remnants of their once mighty empire. Though Tyrannosaurs are long extinct, their legacy lives on in our culture, science, and imagination. T. rex is one of the most famous dinosaurs, and its fossils continue to reveal crucial information about prehistoric life. Paleontologists have studied their bones, teeth, and even their brains, helping us understand their biology, behavior, and the ecosystems they inhabited. The image of the Tyrannosaurus has become a cultural icon, representing strength, power, and the majesty of prehistoric life. Movies like Jurassic Park have cemented T-Rex as the ultimate predator in the popular imagination. This legacy extends beyond entertainment. T-Rex continues to be a subject of scientific inquiry, shedding light on the evolutionary history of dinosaurs and the factors that shaped life on Earth. The study of tyrannosaurs has also led to groundbreaking discoveries in paleontology. Researchers have uncovered evidence that challenges our understanding of dinosaurs, such as the possibility that T-Rex may have been more bird-like than previously thought. The legacy of the Tyrannosaurs continues to shape the way we view not only the ancient past, but also the future of our planet. What if the Tyrannosaurs hadn't gone extinct? Imagine a world where T-Rex and its relatives continued to evolve and thrive alongside mammals. If they had survived the mass extinction event, the course of Earth's evolution would have been drastically different. Tyrannosaurs could have evolved further, potentially adapting to changing environments and developing new traits that would allow them to dominate for millions of more years. The survival of these predators would have altered the trajectory of mammalian evolution. Could mammals have developed into the dominant species they are today if Tyrannosaurs had remained the apex predators? The survival of Tyrannosaurs would have also had profound impacts on the ecosystems. Large carnivores would have continued to regulate herbivore populations, maintaining a balance in the food chain. The continued existence of these mighty creatures might have led to the evolution of even larger and more complex predators. A world where Tyrannosaurs survived would have been one where the power of the past continued to shape the future. The Tyrannosaurs were kings of their world, unmatched in size, strength, and predatory skills. For over 20 million years, they stood at the top of the food chain, dominating ecosystems and shaping the prehistoric world. Their physical power, strategic hunting skills, and adaptability made them the ultimate apex predators of the Cretaceous period.